Hi everybody, it's Kyle. Hey, today's video is going to be a little bit more serious because today's video is a warning from, I'll call him Marcus. I had an opportunity to interview or really just kind of chat with an autistic adult. And I'll call him Marcus. I'm not going to use his real name. But, you know, as I was chatting with him, he started to share some insight into kind of how he was raised and some of the ways, the things that really impacted him. And I'm going to start this by letting you know that Marcus suffers from pretty serious depression. He calls it despair is the word he uses, and has contemplated and actually attempted suicide on a few different occasions. And, you know, as I chatted with him, and we got to talking about things, he expressed to me that his parents didn't love him. And it kind of, you know, shook me up a little bit. And I said, did they not tell you they loved you? And he said, yeah, they told me that. But that's not what their actions showed me. Now, I'm not, he wasn't as clear. I'm going to clarify some of the things he said because he's not as verbal, but I repeated some things back to him to make sure I understood. So I'm gonna use words that he may not have used, and this is what he meant because we talked about, I wanted to make sure I was understood. And he said to me, or as we discussed it, what came to light was that he believed his parents did not love him. And he believed he was a burden on them. Not because they didn't say, I love you, to him, because they did. But their actions spoke to him louder than words. So I asked him what kind of actions made him feel that way. And he expressed to me that there was a lot of tension in his home. He felt like there was a lot of tears from his mother and frustration and anger from his father because of the things that he could and couldn't do. And, you know, they're having to, he said, basically deal with him. Not raise him, but deal with him. And all the different problems and frustrations and issues he brought into the home. And so I tried to express to him, and I think he understood when we were all done, that we're stressed. A lot of times as parents, we're stressed because we love you. Not because you're a burden in our homes, but the stress that we exhibit is because of our love. We worry for you. We care for you. We want things to be good for you. And so when we exhibit stress, that's typically what it is. It's a deep caring. And it's a fear. We don't know what to do sometimes. And so maybe what you're seeing as our stress and tension and frustration and tears isn't because we think of you as a burden. It's because we think of you as a blessing. And that stress and strain and sometimes what appears to you to be unhappiness is because we love you so deeply. And I tried to express that to him. But the conversation went down a path of, that's wrong. He's concluded, and his experience told him, just because they said I love you doesn't mean they love you. If there's stress and tension and frustration and you're the reason behind it, you're a burden, not a blessing. So I want you to understand, and I want all of us to understand, how our kids are reading things, and what they might be reading into the situation. In this case, Marcus read into it, they didn't love him. He was a burden. And to this day, he still suffers from depression and what he calls despair. Because he doesn't feel loved. He thought he was never loved. He thought he was a burden to his family. So I want to challenge you. I want us all to keep this in mind. When things get hard, we need to express our love more deeply. At the hardest moments, when it's the hardest for them, we need to love them the most. And we don't need to show them we love them through stress and strain and frustration and tears. We need to love them and let them feel that love, and let those actions be at least as powerful as the words "I love you," which I know we tell them. I don't want any other child with autism to ever get to this point, but I'm afraid that's what's happening. Hey, help me, help your kids. Let's all help our kids to know that they're not a burden. They're a blessing. And the way we have to do that is to, when it gets the hardest, we have to be at our best. We have to love them the most when it's the hardest to love them. That's my message for today. I'm so grateful for Marcus for sharing this information with me. I'm hoping you understand what I'm trying to say here, because I understand it deeply. And I'm recommitting myself to making sure my son knows, both my sons on the spectrum know, that they're a blessing and not a burden. I want your kids to know that too. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.